All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our new normal, which is virtual board meetings on this Tuesday, May 12th. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask everybody if they would please do the Pledge of Allegiance. Stand if you're able. Mr. Boyce has a flag, as does Mr. Puntillo. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled the Open Public Meetings Act, has been provided by action of the Board of Education at its regular meeting on December 10th, 2019, and notices to the Courier News and Star Ledger circulated in the school district, and a posted notice to this effect on the Board of Education website and building bulletin board, Administrative Headquarters, 51 West Cliff Street, Somerville, New Jersey. Mr. Boyce, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Ms. Matthews.
Here.
Mr. Carlson.
Here.
Mrs. Olson. She's absent. Mr. Puntillo.
She's here.
Oh, she's here. Okay. Mr. Puntillo.
Here.
Dr.
Here.
Mr. Kimmick.
Here.
Mrs. Van Horn.
She's here. She's frozen.
Here.
I can see her. Okay. Mr. Sergio.
Mr. Sergio's present.
Okay. Mr. Jess.
Here.
Mrs. Fabrizi.
Here.
There's Mrs. Olson. Good evening. All right, thank you. Mr. Boyce, like we did last meeting, I'm going to ask you under the items to vote on, with the exception of the closing of public comments and the closing of old business, new business. Please do everything by roll call vote so that we have a accurate accounting of everybody's vote.
Sure. Great idea.
Great, thank you. At this time, we are open to public comment regarding agenda items only. If members of the public would like to comment, you were provided with the link to submit your comments to Mrs. McEntee. And please remember that the board will take your comments under advisement and will respond to them in due course. The public portion is for members of the public to provide us with comment and not to have a dialogue back and forth. So I'll turn it over to Ms. McEntee.
Thank you. There are currently no comments on board items. We have comments for the end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Therefore, can I have a motion to close this public portion, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Puntillo. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. All right. Under the board president's report, the board is, because we have been remote, the board hasn't received any updates with regards to if our staff members have either lost someone in their family or have had a birth or a marriage or an anniversary. So on behalf of the board, I'd like to offer condolences to anyone who has suffered a loss over the past few months, and also our congratulations to anyone that has experienced something positive and good in their lives. We hope that everybody is well. I know that there's a lot of anxiety about what the immediate future holds for the remainder of our academic school year, the prom, project graduation, and graduation, not only from the high school, but the promotion ceremonies from 8th grade and 5th grade, and if you have a college senior, from college as well. We wish that we could offer you some positive guidance or concrete information as to what will happen, but at this point, we can't. On March 16th, Governor Murphy signed Executive Order 104, which implemented aggressive social distancing requirements to help stop the progression of the COVID-19 virus. On March 21st, Governor Murphy signed Executive Order 107, which prohibited gatherings of individuals for parties, celebrations, and other social events, effectively squashing any graduation plans that school districts had in place. The administration had hoped that by the end of June, these restrictions would be lifted and that we would be able to progress with some sort of graduation. However, last week, Governor Murphy closed all schools, public, private, and parochial through June 30th, thus handcuffing districts even more with regards to any plans that they may have had regarding graduation and other celebrations. On Friday, May 8th, the Department of Education provided guidance to all school districts regarding virtual celebrations and suggested that graduations could be held in the following ways: streaming a ceremony on the district website that includes pre-recorded speeches and messages, reaching out to celebrities or public figures to record speeches for seniors, or creating a virtual reality graduation using avatars for our students to participate in the graduation. On Saturday, May 9th, Colonel Patrick J. Callahan of the New Jersey State Police provided a memo to all school districts reinforcing Executive Order 107 and also adding that any wave parades that invite people to gather at a certain location, proms, and other similar celebrations violate Executive Order 107 and should not take place. They also reinforced the suggestion of virtual graduations. In a word, these restrictions stink. And I have to use the word stink because my wife banned me from using the word I really wanted to use. And I don't want to have her angry with me. However, we must think of the future of our children. Like myself, Mr. Sergio, Mr. Kimmick, and Mrs. Fabrizi are parents of high school seniors. And Mr. Kimmick is also the father of an 8th grade student. We are just upset as the many parents who have reached out to us, reached out to the administration, and posted on social media. Dr. Tehan is triply upset. Not only does he have to follow and abide by the executive order for Somerville, but he is also the father of a graduating senior from high school who must deal with the graduation dilemma in his hometown and a graduating college senior who will be having a video graduation. There are other districts who have already posted what their graduation plans are: a parade of seniors in cars to accept their diplomas, social distancing on their football field, having students walk across the stage in a time-restricted manner. Some of these ideas, while creative and encouraging, do violate the above-mentioned executive orders. It is not our intent to forget our seniors. Nor is it our intent to violate any of the executive orders. Our first priority is to make sure that everyone is safe. And I believe that the administration has been doing a great job of that. I can assure you that our administration meets daily to discuss the pandemic and ways to make education better for our children, and this includes ideas on how to handle graduation. While we know that an in-person graduation will not happen prior to July, please be assured that the administration is working on graduation plans for beyond June that celebrate our students. Planning will need to balance the desires of the communities with the future parameters that the state establishes. And as they are able to, the administration will share information with our community. And I would just ask everyone to please be patient and understand the predicament that all of us are in, you as parents, us as board members, and the administration. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Team.
Thank you very much. I'm going to do district highlights. And like Mr. Jess, I'm going to start off with a little bit of a summary of the letter that went out the other day, yesterday. So I hope everyone had an opportunity to read that communication that did go out yesterday. And in that letter, I did share that I understand exactly what parents are going through. I am going through it, like I said, like Derek said, with two of my sons, a high schooler and a college student. And, you know, I won't use the same words as Derek. It definitely stinks. We all know it stinks. So, but as was already said, our whole administrative team has been working really hard to make this graduation experience special for all of our 12th graders, 8th graders, and 5th graders. Each building is doing different things. They're not all the same. And it becomes more involved the higher grade level that you go. So what a 5th grader is going to be experiences is not going to be the same as what an 8th grader experiences. It is also going to be very different than what a high schooler experiences. In the letter, I also shared that the principals will be providing more details specific to their buildings by the end of this week. And the reason for why it's coming from each building is because, as I said, each building is very different. So, as was already said, also, please be patient and know that we want what is best for all of our students, and we are working to make this year a positive, memorable experience. And in particular, we know the high school has received many ideas from students and parents, and they have taken all of those ideas and they've considered them, given them very careful consideration, and are trying to weave them into the things that they're doing. So on to the actual different building district highlights. So for Vanderveer grades PS5, Vanderveer School celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week with an outpouring of gratitude for our teachers through email messages, social media posts, and a heartwarming video presented to the teachers and staff. The video included photos of their students displaying gratitude with homemade signs, chalk messages on driveways, sidewalks, and porches, along with the $1 million smiles on each child as they said thank you. The Somerville Pre-K to 8 PTO and the Latino Family Advisory Board are two organizations that were instrumental in assisting with getting the word out to parents to surprise the teachers, and it truly was a surprise. Vanderveer has continued the weekly ritual of Spirit Weeks to keep students and their families engaged with fun activities in addition to their academic responsibilities. The latest themes were STEAM Week from May 4th to May 8th, and currently we are celebrating Choose Kindness Week, highlighted from May 11th through May 15th. Vanderveer teachers, staff, and administration continue to wish our students and their families good health and safety during these challenging times. For Somerville Middle School, congratulations to Joanne Mealy for winning the SMS Sunshine Club Self-Care Bingo Raffle. Students have expressed they absolutely love seeing their teachers and were shocked in seeing Mr. Benjamin and Mrs. Prusso jump in on many of the meetings. SMS teachers and staff received a delicious IOU, and if it's anything like mine, they'll never get it, but I'm sure they'll be much better than me. Luncheon when they return to school from Mr. Benjamin and Mrs. Prusso in observance of Teacher Appreciation Week and all they do for the SMS students. Our teachers are taking students on a lot of virtual field trips, recently to the zoo and the Liberty Science Center Planetarium. These trips are directly tied into students' lessons, the curriculum, and standards. For Somerville High School, Somerville High School was recently named as a 2020 Best High School based on rankings that U.S. News and World Report published on April 21st. We're very proud of that. SHS Guidance hosted a webinar on college essay writing. Junior students and their parents received information on the college application process and tips for writing the best essay. Robotics Team 102 announced that Emily Vogel was named a finalist in the FMA district. This qualifies Emily to go to the World's Championship and compete against all regional and district finalists to be one of the 10 Dean's List winners. It's really remarkable. Mrs. Shelton's Students in 3D Experience, Studio Concentration, and Experimental Studio have been sharing their work on social media during this flexible learning time. Students focused on the elements of art, linear perspectives, and shapes. And junior class advisor, Mrs. Regina Rossi, and her class officers made signs of thanks to the heroes on the front line at Robert Wood Johnson Medical Center. They also had lunch delivered to the staff, 50 subs and chips. Hope they enjoyed them. And that concludes district highlights.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Tian. I hope everybody's snacks were good. Moving along to Finance Committee, I'd ask Mr. Carlson to move the items under Finance, please.
Yes, and to echo everybody else's response, I'm sure the whole board would really like to be able to do something, and we were working on it and ask for the patience of the public. Okay, it's recommended that items 1 through 6 be moved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Item 1, the board secretary's financial reports. Item 2, acceptance of monthly reports. Item 3 is payroll. Item 4, bills list. Item 5, line item transfers. And item 6, non-public school security aid program grant. So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Puntillo. Any discussion? Mr. Boyce, roll call, please.
Yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Seaton,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess.
Yes.
Okay, it is recommended that item 7-14 be moved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Item 7, bills list. Item 8, disposal of obsolete materials. Item 9, resolution for contracted custodial care contract renewal. Item 10, contract authorization for Clear Touch interactive panels for Somerville High School. Item 11, authorization for Chromebook lease, purchase, finance, and purchase under NASPO master agreement for Chromebooks. Item 12, food service management company, the renewal of Macio's food service. And 13, the fixing of school breakfast and lunch prices. And item 14, travel expenditures resolution.
Thank you for moving those, Mr. Carlson. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Puntillo. Any discussion? Mr. Boyce, roll call, please.
Yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Seaton,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess,
Yes.
Mrs. Fabrizi.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Moving on to buildings and grounds, Mr. Puntillo.
Yes, in all the buildings, all the elevators have been serviced. In the middle school and the high school, hand dryers have been installed. The boys' auxiliary gym and locker room walls and lockers floors had lights installed. Third floor hallway, the high school was painted, and all the work orders are being handled in a timely manner.
Great. Thank you. Athletics and student activities, Mr. Sergio.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And I apologize. I am having camera difficulties, so I am here. And since the last meeting, April 28th, I don't have anything new to report. I am going to take this opportunity, though, to thank you, Dr. Teen and Dr. Jess, for your discussion tonight. You know, I am one of those parents as well that are deeply impacted by this. We dreamed of this when our kids were born, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure we have a special graduation for you. And another positive note is that when we do come out of this and enter our adjusted normal, we are going to take all the lessons learned to put procedures in place to, you know, to make sure this doesn't happen again. So with that said, I also want to note all the student athletes who have dedicated their time for 4 years and following their dreams and passions through their character development. I salute you guys. You're all champions in our book. And I know June 16th will be my last address to all the athletes and activity participants. And I look forward to doing that. So that's all I have, Dr. Jess. Oh, you're a doctor, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Pardon me, may I say something?
Absolutely.
Regarding the clubs, the chamber choir posted a video. I know it's on our social media, led by Mrs. G, and it is fantastic. If anybody hasn't seen it, please visit. I know it's on the Instagram. I'm sure at many other sites and probably the high school site as well. They did a rendition of Heal the World, and it's just tear-jerking.
Great. Thank you. All right. Moving on to curriculum, Mrs. Van Horn.
Yes, our last meeting was April 18th, and we had a lot to discuss. We had updates on flexible learning, what teacher work was being provided, and behind the scenes work, sharing point people grouping, and plans on how we would address the standards upon our return to school. We discussed the adoption of the Foundation's K-3 and American Reading Company as the core reading program for K to 5. We discussed middle school algebra and enrichment class being offered. We discussed the science scores and the 2-year plan to address those scores. We shared PD plans for 2021 and shared the vision and mission statement for the curriculum department, which is fun and challenging learning for all. And it is moved that item 1 be moved upon, recommended that item 1 be moved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Number 1 is the summer reading program for Somerville Middle School and Vanderveer Elementary School.
Thank you, Mrs. Van Horn. Can we have a second for that, please?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Saden. Any discussion? Can we have a roll call, Mr. Boyce, please?
Yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
He said yes.
Dr. Saden,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess.
Yes.
It is recommended that items 2 through 4 be moved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Number 2, the summer reading program for Somerville High School. Number 3, summer hours. Number 4, the custodial maintenance holiday schedule.
Thank you, Mrs. Van Horn. Can I have a second for those items, please?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Any discussion? Mr. Boyce, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Saden,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess,
Yes.
Mrs. Fabrizi.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to Technology Committee, Mr. Kimmick.
No new updates since the last meeting that we had. Again, I do want to just thank the technology department. If you look at the professional development roster and the course offerings that are being offered, a lot of the members of the tech department and the IT department are stepping up and actually offering courses to teachers to help them again with many of the distance learning strategies that are being used. So I think the community should recognize that and just appreciate the fact that those things are happening behind the scenes. And also just thank you for the continued efforts around just the Chromebook purchasing and the replacement of technology as well in terms of the monitors and that type of thing that are taking place. So great work. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, moving on to personnel, Dr. Tian.
Are you going to do the appointees first?
I don't know, am I?
Do you want me to go through them?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Appointees, it is recommended that items 1 through 11 be moved upon the recommendation of superintendent of schools. 1 is affirmative action officer, Title IX officer, coordinator, sorry. Number 2 is affirmative action officer liaisons. 3 is 504 officer. 4 is homeless liaison. 5 is designation of public agency compliance officer, also known as PACO. Number 6 is designation of the custodian of school records. Number 7 is the bid threshold and appointment of qualified purchasing agent. Number 8 is transfer authority. Number 9 is appointment of asbestos AHERA coordinator. Number 10 is appointment of integrated pest management coordinator. And number 11 is the appointment of the board secretary.
Thank you. Can we have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Saden. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Puntillo. Any discussion on any of these items? Mr. Boyce, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Saden,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess,
Yes.
Mrs. Fabrizi,
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to motions. I'll take this one. It is recommended that items 1 through 6 be moved upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Item number 1, designation of official depositories and individuals authorized to sign checks. Item number 2, authorize the establishment of the following petty cash funds. Item number 3, the designation of official newspapers. Item number 4, the transmittal of tax monies from the borough to the board. Item number 5, authorizing the business administrator board secretary to invest funds and approve wire transfers. And item number 6, authorization to certify payrolls. May we have a motion for those items, please? Thank you, Mr. Carlson. May I have a second?
Second.
I think I heard Mr. Shakil, so thank you. Any discussion? Mr. Boyce, can we have a roll call, please?
yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Sadin,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess.
Yes. All right. Now, moving on to personnel, Dr. Tian.
Okay, for PS8, resolve that the Board of Education approve and/or accept the following appointments upon recommendation of Superintendent of Schools. Appointments and salaries contingent upon verified documentation. Number 1, to accept retirement resignation of Elizabeth Lee in the position of Secretary of Vanderveer School effective June 30th, 2020.
May I have a motion on that item, please?
So moved.
Thank
So
you.
moved.
Mr. Puntillo, may I have a second?
Second.
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 Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Any discussion? Mr. Boyce, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I was muted. Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Sadin,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Yes.
Mr. Jess.
Yes.
For 9 through 12 and 55, resolve that the Board of Education approve or accept the following recommendation of Superintendent of Schools. Appointments and salaries contingent upon verified documentation. Number 2, to approve the attached list of staff members for the 2021 school year. And number 3, to rescind the approved unpaid child care leave of absence previously approved in accordance with the New Jersey Medical Leave of Act for Gary Knopel, teacher of special education at Somerville High School.
Thank you. Can we have a motion for those items, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Kimmick. Any discussion? Mr. Boyce, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Matthews,
Yes.
Mr. Carlson,
Yes.
Mrs. Olson,
Yes.
Mr. Puntillo,
Yes.
Dr. Sadin,
Yes.
Mr. Kimmick,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Sergio,
Hold on, he's coming back. He had left for a moment.
Yes.
Mr. Jess,
Yes.
Mrs. Fabrizi,
Yes.
Great, thank you. Moving on to old business. Does any member of the board have any old business? No, seeing none, may I have a motion to close old business, please?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Thank
So
you,
moved.
Dr. Sadin. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Moving on to new business. Is there any new business from the board?
I'd like to bring up an item or two. Is there any way we could take a look at the platform we're using and see if there is a platform that would encourage greater interaction between the audience and the board? At least, can we discuss it?
Absolutely. But I'm gonna leave that up to Dr. Tian.
Yeah.
The tech department has looked at all different platforms, and really this one is the one that we use in the district. There's been, as we've shared with the public before, that Zoom has had a lot of issues, especially for school districts and municipalities. The one thing I think everyone needs to also understand is that, board meeting is a meeting in public. It's not necessarily a public board meeting, so it's a little bit different. The way that we're doing it, I think, is pretty good in the sense that we're able to live stream it, so everyone can see it that wants to see it, and they still have the means of putting in public comments through the provided Google form. I've been on, whether it's Zoom or Google Meet, where there's a large number of people, and we end up having a lot of bogging down at times, especially for different individuals, depending on where they are, which then really creates problems for the meetings. So, with the exception of some feedback that we're experiencing here, and that's something we'll improve for the next round, I think this is going pretty well. And this format is actually the format that a lot of districts are using, whether it be a Google form or an email address that people can send comments in. So, we're meeting all the requirements, and I think it's, pretty good. Hopefully soon, we'll go back to, as Mr. Sergio said, our new normal. And with that, we can go back to having board meetings in the boardroom where people can come and see you guys really live.
Okay, thank you. And one other question. Is there a chance, do we send a notice out? The way I get these text messages about feeding and distribution of meals, and do we send that out to parents about the board meetings? Can we do that? A notification?
We can. It's not a problem. We can include it in our weekly messages. I mean, normally the way it's done is our, all the board meetings are publicized. They have to be, and published in newspapers, which they are. And then, we have all those dates on our website. But yeah, we can add that in. That's not a big deal.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think marketing or publicizing our meetings, maybe there's another way to enhance what we already do.
Sure.
May I comment on that? I love the idea of the public getting a text about the board meeting and reminding them about it. However, the amount of texts and emails and phone calls that are going out twice weekly, I've actually been asked if there's a way that the people can opt out of them, being that you get hit with 3 all at once. So if any feedback on that, please.
Yeah, I can tell you that I look at mine, I'm going, why am I kidding? But you got to, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So we don't do it, we get a complaint. We do it, we're overdoing it. So,
and I can tell you that we have tried to consolidate our messages. That's why we started doing the Friday messages. So parents knew that basically every Friday evening they would get a consolidated message. It also, one of the other reasons why we also did that was so that parents aren't only getting messages about their child's building, and it improves the communication and the understanding across the district. So if I'm a parent in elementary school, I actually have an opportunity to see what kind of things are going on in the middle school and high school. So we're trying to leverage that. We've also included the virtual backpack for those people that don't necessarily want to read those messages, but maybe later do. Yes, unfortunately, sometimes we have to send out other messages. Like the one we sent out yesterday, we felt it was important to get that out as soon as possible. So we kind of broke from our normal, Friday message. So we will do that periodically. But, we are definitely still working on our administrative teams getting their messages to us in that Friday message and not having it come out to us like on Monday and say, oh, I need this to go out too. So we're really trying to push them to also notify anyone that's giving them the messages, which could be, say, the PTO or some other special group that, has a message that's very important to them. And if we can push it back to the Friday message, we are. But if we can't, then unfortunately we are sending those out. But yeah, we've been hearing that about the 101 messages. We get it. and we are trying to improve on that.
Well, I realize it's a priority of the administration and the board to communicate with the parents and families and the general public as best we can. So just keep up the good work, and let's keep our eyes open for opportunities.
Great. Thanks, Dan. Anyone else with new business? Don't jump at once. All right. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close new business, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Sergio. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. All right, at this time, we are open to the public for comment on any topics that you would like. I know that members have been asked to please submit their questions via email, so she'll be reading them to us. Please remember that the public session is for the public to engage with the board, and the board will take your comments and will respond to them in due course. Thank you. All right, Ms. McEntee, you're up.
Thank you. The first question is from Tara Cicchetti, 66 North Richards Ave. Can you please advise if there is even a consideration to do a live graduation following socially distanced guidelines if the order is released at a future date, either June 19th as scheduled or in the summer months? If not, why not a virtual graduation instead of video provided by the school? Why does our district not have interactive teaching daily? Students are learning independently, and other districts around New Jersey are live teaching.
All right, thank you. You may go on to the next one.
Okay, the next one is from Heather Knapp, 295 Alamont Place. This is a three-part question or response. All three schools are being given a live video. High school seniors, don't they deserve something a little different than what you are giving the fifth graders? In a district where teachers are always asking students to be creative and think outside the box, don't you think you could have led by example and done the same thing, got creative, and thought outside the box? These are seniors who have lost every single thing. A video will never make up for that. Her second point, if the governor changes his executive orders, will you change the end of the school year plans for all three schools? With parks already open, and if beaches and businesses are going to open by Memorial Day, a lot can and will change by June 19th. Are you willing to change your graduation plans? Our students deserve to have a send-off that celebrates all they have accomplished, especially our seniors. Her third point is, have you actually asked your students what they want? There are many great ideas out there, and it's your responsibility to explore all options and to come up with something unique and fun to celebrate your students, our sons and daughters. They are missing out on so much, and it's your chance to give back to them. Maybe the students were willing to wait until July. Has that been addressed?
Great. Thank you. Next, is there another one?
Yes, there's two more. The next one is from Paul Belkin, 452 Witten Road. I know that the graduation is on everyone's mind and hope at some point we can have one. I'm thinking that with a class of only 270 kids, we can easily social distance on the football field, allow only 2 parents per child, allow them to walk up and receive their diplomas, and agree to leave after to prevent gathering. I know one worry is that after everyone graduates, they will gather to take pictures and hang with friends. I think rules will be needed and enforced, but it can be done. And
all right.
The last one, the last comment is from Lori Lawson, 3 Preston Drive. You are leaving the class of 2020 wall blank for handprints. The kids need to return their Chromebooks, any textbooks, and clean their lockers out. Why not schedule them to come in and they can add their handprints while there? This can be done following social distancing rules. Communication is key through all of this. Communicate your plans. Give the seniors something to look forward to. Show them you care. Thank you for your time and service. We just received another one. This is from Freddie Shaker, 102 Hibernia Way in Freehold. Since last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, the SEA Executive Board would like to publicly thank the entire staff for their hard work and their timeless efforts to maintain some sort of normalcy for the students. This is a difficult time, and we are proud of the work of the entire staff. That's all.
Great. Thank you.
I have one question for Melissa. How many of those people asked for a written response?
None.
None? Thank you.
You're
May I
welcome.
have a motion to close public session, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Saden. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. All right, before we move on, we'll try to provide some information if we can, because the last thing we want is for the members of the public to have waited all this time to stare at our faces and to not get any answers. So I'm going to start in reverse order. Mr. Shaker, thank you very much for your comments. I'm sure Dr. T and Mr. Boyce, the administration, and every member of the board also thanks every member of our staff and certainly appreciates everything that they do every day. As the son of a teacher, I know that that is not often the easiest job to do. And so we echo your sentiments and we thank you for reminding us that it was Teacher Appreciation Week and it should be Teacher Appreciation Month. Ms. Lawson, thank you for your questions, your comments as well. I know that Dr. Teen and the administration have been working on plans to have the students come in and provide their handprints on the wall. I know that they have set aside a larger portion of the wall in the high school, but I don't know where, that is going to say class of 2020 on it. And when they feel that it is safe, they will have the students come in and do that, because I think it's an awesome thing that our kids do. And I'm sure that they will be waiting for it. I also can probably say that I don't know if Dr. Teen and the staff have actually gotten together to finalize a date when the kids can bring back their Chromebooks, because the executive order that the governor signed did close all of our schools through the end of June. Essentially meaning, unless you are an essential personnel, you should not be coming in. And I'm going to go one step further and say that also means the students in returning their information. Hopefully something will transpire over the next month where it will be safe to have our kids come in and social distance in a much smaller group of kids. But with the number of COVID cases increasing within our state, and New Jersey still being, I believe, number 2 behind New York with confirmed cases and number of deaths, we want to make sure that everybody is healthy and safe. I'm also going to ask Dr. Teen to jump in if I misspeak or if he has any additional information to offer as well. Mr. Belkin, thank you for your comments. While I do agree that having a class of only 270 students, putting them on the football field 6 feet apart would sound easy and might be easy, it would still be a violation of the governor's executive orders. And I can tell you myself, as the parent of a senior, if I was watching my daughter Kaylee graduate and standing next to me 6 feet away was Mr. Kimmick, who we've been friends for over 20 years, and our children were graduating together, I may eventually creep over to him so that my 6 foot barrier will now be 5 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet, until he is embracing me in a hug, because he loves me. And because of that, I think that would also pose problems. And the last thing we want to do is cause a burden not only on our families and our students, but our staff and also the police department, because they would probably have to get involved. Ms. Mills, I hope I have that right. Thank you for your 3 points as well. I can't answer any of your comments with regards to the videos and the teaching of the students and why the 5th graders have the same video as the high schoolers. So I'm going to ask Dr. Teen to step in. But again, I will say that unless the governor provides us with additional executive orders lifting some of the things he put in place, I don't know how we would be able to move forward with any plans and not violate that law. So I'm going to let Dr. Teen now jump in.
Yeah, like I said before, each building is doing their own approach to the videos, and what is offered at 5th grade is nothing like what is going to be offered at 12th grade. So they are very different.
Thank you. And last, Ms. Cicchetti, I would love for graduation to happen once the orders are lifted. And again, I'm sure that Dr. Teen and the administration in their daily meetings are discussing just that, should the order get lifted anytime soon. I also know that they have been talking about a virtual graduation ceremony as well. I cannot tell you what that looks like because I have not been part of those conversations, nor should I be, because that is administration's job. But please rest assured that even though communications don't come out as often as we like, that I know that they are working diligently to do what they can so that the class of 2020 is not the forgotten class. And I know that they've been speaking about things happening after July 1 as well. With regards to your comment regarding the teaching and live streaming, I'm going to leave that up to Dr. Tian as well.
Yeah, we've kind of addressed that in multiple messages out to families on Fridays. Basically, the approach that we're taking is different than some districts, but it's a lot like most districts. And, we stand by our approach. We feel it is the best approach. And, the Google Meets have opened up. They're offered, in each building at different times, different subjects. So I think we're in a good place with it.
Great. Thanks, Dr. Tian. So I'm sure those are not the responses that everybody was looking for, but I hope you can understand that we're trying to do what's best for everyone and follow the executive orders as well. So again, I just ask you to please bear with the administration. Keep your suggestions coming because I know that Mr. Foley and Dr. Tian are appreciative that you're reaching out to them. So I would ask you to please continue to do so.
Can
That
I
being
add a comment?
Yes, please.
I'm aware that all the county superintendents, not long before the pandemic, but a few weeks before this all unfolded, they had already begun work on preparing alternatives for addressing this kind of situation or any new situation that was going to arise. I know they're continuing to meet on a very regular basis, probably multiple times a week. I know they're collectively, all our superintendents are sharing their ideas, sharing their experiences, and we're trying to pick the best alternatives that are available to us from our limited experience, because this is new to everyone. But I think our administration and I think all the county superintendents should be complimented for their working together to address this issue.
Thanks, Mr. Puntillo. And and
Hey,
one thing. Oh, who's that? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I should have said maybe a new business, but I would just like to applaud the administration and the team and the teachers for everything that they're doing. I have a high school junior myself, and just speaking with her and speaking with my own friends as a parent, not as a board member, with the new process and each phase of social, distance learning that continues to go out, I would, as a parent, I am really trying to encourage my daughter to encourage her friends to get on collectively and really log in and take advantage of it instead of teenagers, how they like to do, feeling awkward being in a situation as we all are right now, virtually in a board meeting. It is awkward to be online. It is awkward to have Google Meets, but encourage your friends to do it so you don't feel like the odd bird out, because here we are doing it too, and it's awkward for us as well. So I would just like to state that I think that you guys are doing a fantastic job. I have clients in other districts that I'm speaking with, and they think that we're way ahead of the curve. So I applaud you. Thank you.
Thank you. And one thing that I think we all have to also think about is not only graduation, but what happens in September. I've been hearing from people that I know, fellow business administrators and other people throughout the state, that there's a possibility that this could go longer than September 1st. So everybody needs to think about what happens if this continues into the fall. How do we handle that? How do we handle a reentry plan when we have not only students coming to the school, either being dropped off by their parents or walking, but on school buses? And how do we allow visitors into our school once we get the okay? So there are many decisions that need answers to, which we don't have at this time. And I know that information will be forthcoming to the public as it comes to Dr. Tian and the administration. So again, not a lot of answers, but we hope that you can understand where we're coming from and what we're trying to do, and know that we want to work with you guys.
And Derek, just to piggyback off of that, Dan Pintillo said, the superintendents in the county have been meeting on a regular basis. We meet twice a week, every Monday and Thursday, and we are actually working on the summer and the reentry plan, which we hope would happen in September. But as you said, everything's up in the air. So, like anything else that we're presented with, we have to come up with multiple solutions to one problem without knowing what direction we're going in. And, I commend the Somerset County Superintendent Roundtable, because we do truly work as one team, and we are constantly sharing on everything. Doesn't mean everyone does it exactly the same, because every district has different needs, but we are definitely sharing and learning from each other. And and I know you guys do it with the BA groups as well.
Yes, we do, which is why we're always so cheerful with the information that we're given. So that being said, now, be it resolved that the Board of Ed move to recess into executive session to discuss the superintendent evaluation and negotiations with the Somerville Education Association. The minutes of the executive session, to the extent permitted by law, will be made available to the public once the issues are resolved, subject to confidentiality requirements, and action will not be taken. May I have a motion to go into executive session, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Matthews. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Carlson. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. We're in at 7:22.